Oh.
We just touched each other's arms.
So awkward.
Hi, guys. I know.
That
We
is
don't
so
touch.
awkward. Can you imagine?
Let's just
like,
hold
hold
hands.
hands the whole
I
podcast.
want to do it. Hey, guys. Welcome back to the SAUCY SIBZ podcast. I'm your host, Francesca.
And I'm Nicodemus.
And we are the siblings who don't touch.
We don't hug each other. We don't like...
No, we're weird about that. Nick and I are...
It's not weird about it.
No,
we're just not, like,
we're not huggy people. We're not touchy people.
We're not going to like snuggle.
No.
Yeah.
I hardly snuggle with like, I don't like to, like, I have girlfriends who are kind of snuggly and I'm just not a snuggly gal. Like, you can say hi to me from over there. Like, I had to get used to hugging.
I don't really love hugging, to be honest.
No, I think it's weird. I love the air kiss.
Yeah.
Like the European air kiss.
Uh-huh. I hate when people are like, oh, I'm a hugger.
I hug. I'll do it
Exactly.
socially in America. That's what you do. You hug your friends when you see them. Although, like, I've said this to friends and then they're like, oh, sorry, I know you don't like hugs. And I'm like, no, like, I can handle it. Like,
okay, so actually at Burning Man, there was a girl who I had like seen out randomly, and I went up and I saw her multiple times, and so I saw her again. I was like, oh, so out of just like everyone's hugging each other at Burning Man, come up to her and give her a hug, and she just goes, oh, I don't do that. But it was rude.
I was standing there actually.
Were you?
Yeah.
Honestly, I get it though.
Yeah, no, it was. She had like a full response.
Yeah.
And maybe she has trauma responses to it, but she was like, I don't consent to being like touched.
Which and like. As weird as it was, I was like, own it.
She's
I don't like being
it.
hugged too. And the fact that she called me out for hugging when I'm the least huggy person ever.
I know.
So.
But I will say. What?
No, it's like, I've just never like needed a hug. Sorry, I'm not like hating on people that like hugs. Physical touch is a love language. It's just not mine. I'm an Aquarius.
Yeah, I don't love it. But I will say that like our family, like, takes the European like air kisses to another level.
Yeah.
Our family's like a kiss on the lips family. We don't kiss on the lips.
Yeah, no. They're Slovakian though, so like
I wonder if it's a Slovakian thing, but like when I see my grandpa, I kiss him on the lips. And
I
like
kiss
my
grandma on the lips.
Do you?
Yeah. It's European, guys.
I don't know what it is. Our whole family goes around. Everyone kisses on the lips as soon as we get somewhere.
Yeah.
And like the cousins, it's just like, I don't know. We call ourselves kissing cousins, like as a joke. You never heard them say that?
No, I know. I just hate it.
It's weird.
I just hate it.
I don't know why.
Wow, where are we? Do you guys recognize where we're at? Sorry, for those of you listening, we are not in our fucking studio.
Unfortunately.
What happened to the studio, Francesca?
Okay, so we went to go in our studio the other day, and it was like an overwhelming smell of like must and like wet.
You know, like when like the smell in the air like has a texture. I know.
No, so we like go. Well, no, you were sitting in my sauna to detox to get healthy for the new year, and you like noticed something.
Yeah, it just smelled weird.
But how did you find the mold?
I snooped around because I felt like something was wet, like something was molding.
Yeah, well,
and lo and behold, it was the entire floor. So
I guess what happened when they put up the drywall and like when this apartment was built 3 years ago, they drilled in when they were putting up the drywall, they drilled into the water line. So like a screw like punctured it, but the screw's been holding the water in, but the screw like rusted out. So I guess the whole time we were gone for Christmas, and I think months before that, because we noticed the smell a couple months ago. And the wall behind is mold. All the baseboards like black molded out, but it was like behind all our furniture. The whole carpet, and then we had like a cow skin, like one of my really nice fancy Brazilian long-haired cow hides that I got from my antiques dealer. Just you lift it up, the whole underneath just mold. We were so excited. We were like, okay, like we're gonna get back into the podcast. We haven't done it in like 3 weeks. We missed you guys so much. Like I feel lost.
It was like we were so excited, and then all of a sudden, nope. Joke's on you.
Yeah. Well, anyways, like I like got mold illness so bad like years ago that like I had all these crazy symptoms like brain fog to where I felt like I was like had early onset dementia. Like one of the reasons I had to quit my job in New York City, like because my brain stopped working. Come to find out through a functional medicine doctor, I had like crazy mold poisoning, did all these detox. It's the reason I invested so much money in a sauna. And so I sit in this room every day for an hour, like 45 minutes a day to detox. And I've been sitting in a moldy room for an hour a day to
That's
detox.
just the craziest thing you've ever heard. Do you think you like manifested it?
No, I like literally wonder because I'm so like everyone that knows me, like I'm weird about it. Like we specifically went to this apartment building because it's new because
Yeah.
I won't live in an old building because you just don't know what's like behind the paint, if they had previous water damage, and it like wreaked havoc on my health. So I think I've been so scared of mold that I like manifested a moldy room.
It's crazy.
Yeah, but luckily our apartment complex is kind of amazing. They cut out a lot of the drywall. They ripped up the carpet, the padding. It's down to the cement. They're gonna like seal the cement, and I don't know. They're doing like construction this week.
Yeah, there was like 3 men in there with power tools, just destroying the walls, ripping everything up, and not really what I had in my vision for like the first week of 2024. But
No, and all my clothes had been in there. So like when I came home, I didn't unpack. I just threw all of my clean clothes in the closet because what else do you do when you have people coming over? So all my clothes had been sitting on the wet, moldy floor. So now I've just been like, so we're in the living room.
In the living room, it's not that bad.
No, I feel like the vibe is like fine.
I always get so like kind of like weird about the studio. Like I want the studio to look really nice, but then I see other podcasts that are literally in front of like a blue wall.
And they're like huge. Some of the biggest podcasts, even like the nice studios they go to in New York.
They're minimal.
Yeah, it's just like a black wall and like a cool like backlit light.
Yeah.
I don't think it really matters.
It doesn't matter. And that's what I always like. You can spend so much time with like a small detail.
That's with so many things though. Like you just have to start. It's like, what if we didn't start till like SAUCY SIBZ was branded? We're like not even branded.
Yeah, we don't have like a logo.
It's just
you know what's funny? We got a new like profile picture for our podcast from our photo shoots that you guys can see. And we don't have like a font or anything like that. So it's just us, like the photo of us. And I just uploaded it because like I wasn't going to like makeshift some type of text and put on top
some
of
word art.
Yeah. Some Canva art. Yeah. So I just put it up there. And then someone was like, oh my God, Nick, I saw your new like podcast cover art. And it's so good. And like, you know, you just like don't have any words. It's just you guys. And I was like, okay. Well,
yeah, that was on purpose.
I just thought like, I like this photo. I'm putting it up, but.
Speaking of things we don't have for the podcast, mic stands.
Oh, does it annoy you that we don't use mic stands? If you're watching,
I just don't, because we hold the mic, and I guess we literally just went to King Soopers to like get a little. Yeah. We like to have little beverages on the podcast. We're having Olipop today, not sponsored.
And some kombucha.
Yeah, you got some GT's kombucha.
Yep.
And we ran into this guy, and first thing he says to us, he's like, oh yeah, like how's the podcast going? We're like, going really good. We're about to go record. And he's like, so I just have to ask. And I'm like, okay.
So like from like you run into someone at a grocery store and he said, oh, hey, how are things? Turned into, let me give you a quick critique of everything you guys have been doing.
Are you in the podcasting space? Like
he's never been on a podcast.
He was like, I just want to know, like, why don't you have mic stands? He goes like, I have some mic stands I can give you. And I think he was like trying to be nice, but I was like, no, we just like don't have them. Like they're $100. We could get them.
It was as if we were like snowboarding without like snowboard pants. Be like, do you need some like snowboard pants? Like I can hook you up with some. Like you should really have snowboard pants. It's like, bitch, we could get mic stands. We just haven't. We've just always held them.
Yeah.
Trisha Paytas, anyone?
Yeah, one of the biggest podcasters in the space.
And she's just holding it.
Yeah.
A lot of people do. It doesn't matter.
It's preference. I think like we're used to holding it and we don't fidget with it. But like if we had a guest on, I think it'd be nice. So like we had like one of our guests, actually one of our good friends, he just like kind of caressed the mic the whole time and that like fucked with the audio.
Yeah, a little.
But it doesn't bother me to hold. I guess I could like get comfier and just like talk into it. But I don't need it.
I've never really had. I've been on a podcast with a mic stand before on Toxic Tangents, and I didn't even think about it. But I also don't think about what I'm holding it right now.
I kind of like it because it gives me something to do with my hands.
I kind of do too. I think it's a preference for sure because like you know how a lot of pop stars they have the microphone that comes from the side. Mm-hmm. Lady Gaga very rarely does. She's always holding the mic. That's intentional, you know? I mean, she does sometimes use like the side, like Britney Spears earpiece thing, but like, I don't know.
Anyway, it's just a weird thing that people do, I guess, when you kind of do like a public thing, but like people just like to critique it a lot, especially when they don't know anything about podcasts. And I'm just like, we're cool. I'm fine.
Yeah, I'm not really in the business of like critiquing casual acquaintances about things that they do that I personally don't do myself.
He also threw out like another critique of something else that I won't bring up, but it was just like, I don't need your input.
I'm just
on
at the
myself
grocery store
in my
buying
life.
kombucha, dude. Like, bring back small talk, you know?
I was actually thinking we were like sitting down and writing what we wanted to talk about, like our ins and outs for the year. And are you saying like what's in for 2024 is bring back small talk?
Bring back small talk. No, I mean, I would agree with you on that, but people make fun of Americans for small talking. I like small talk.
It's pleasantries.
Yeah, it's just like, and I understand that sometimes it can be like vapid and like you're not really getting to know someone and how you doing? Oh, I'm good. When they're not good, like, okay, sure. But like at the grocery store, when I'm talking to someone I barely know, it's like, I don't really need that.
Well, it's just an energy exchange.
Yeah.
You're just there. You're just saying hi. You're exchanging pleasantries. The energy, like, oh, I just wanted to, have a chit chat. Like, it doesn't need to be deep. I'm at the grocery store saying hi.
I don't do small talk.
Like, I've been in circles where it's been like, oh, like, hey, how are you? And they're like, or like, oh, what do you do? And they're like, oh no, I don't talk about, like, I don't answer those questions. I like want to know like what lights your soul on fire. And I'm like, maybe I don't want to tell you what lights my soul on fire. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I get it.
I guess we could. Like, I can.
But sometimes I don't need a really deep conversation with like a new person at a party.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
I
think that's very normal, I guess.
One of my things though for what's out, and I'm so excited. I've been on TikTok recently, as I am at all times. And you know what I have heard, and I am shooketh and excited and pumped. Clean girl aesthetic is out.
Yeah.
And you know what's in? Mob wives.
Mob
wife energy.
Yeah, I'm seeing that.
Well, clean girl is just not something I can do.
I think that is something, you can always learn from different people.
It's never been my aesthetic.
Yeah.
But like mob wife, I was bred for this.
For the mob wife.
Yeah. And like the fur coats, the chunky gold jewelry. Like I typically wear like my dad's gold.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to wear like all of my gold necklaces that I have from the family.
I like big things and a lot of clutter. That good kind of clutter.
Maximalism. Like an Italian household is not going to be like stark.
Mm-hmm.
Like mob wives, you're going to have paintings and like statues.
Yeah.
Like lions on the outside of the house.
Yeah. Throws, rugs.
Even just like that energy of being like polite. And like when this guy said that to us, like, I think sometimes like in social situations, Nick can kind of like look at me and decide like, is Francesca going to like decide this isn't worth it and like walk away and be chill? Or is she going to look at him and tell him to go fuck himself? And I was thinking to myself, in mob wife aesthetic, she'd be like, you know what, bro? I don't need your input. Are you in podcasting? Like I was this close to being like, what would Carmela Soprano do?
Literally, we're at the grocery store. It's just unnecessary.
No, I kept it in.
I know. Good. Just like walk lightly,
I looked at my phone. It was very clear, though.
It was very stark. We kind of just stopped the conversation because it was weird of him. But anyway, so we've been watching The Sopranos, and two things about The Sopranos. I'll get through it. First, this is the first time I've ever watched Sopranos. Okay, and as you've been told that like we're Italian, and the show is literally like being Italian porn, And someone said to us, they were like, "Oh, I've started watching The Sopranos." And it just makes a lot of sense how your mom decorates her house now. I said, what does she mean by that? I still don't understand our mom's house is very maximalist, a lot of stuff on the walls,
it's not cluttered at all.
It's not at all.
It makes it feel homey. I think it's one of the reasons everyone always wants to hang out at our house. Our house, I feel like everyone walks in and feels like they're at home.
Yeah. Our mom is very, very good at that. And like both houses that or all three that I've lived in of her houses are like really much like that, Second thing about Sopranos. Okay, so they're mobbers, so they're going around like fighting people and stuff like that. And I just love that like they go around and like beat people up. And me, like I'm just not very confrontational. I've never been in a physical altercation. I never will be, And so I just was like, when we were watching, I was like, hey, Francesca, wouldn't it be so fun to just go like beat the shit out of people? Not that I ever would, but like if like you're getting a bagel at the bagel shop and someone's looking at you wrong, or that guy critiquing our podcast, what if we just like
Honestly, I would have. But it's 2024. You can't just go around assaulting people.
No, I know.
But like, I want to all the time. Like, if I could
You
just,
want to assault people?
I mean, if I could have just like looked at him and be like, like just kind of scare him, give him a little, and then maybe
Oh my
a little nut tap.
And I have to like break it up between you guys. And I'm like, hey, you don't want to do that here, Frank.
Yeah.
Oh
I
my
do have like
God.
the perfect like, well, like mob daughter name. So like my dad exclusively calls me Frank.
Frank.
Yeah. And well, my grandpa calls me Franny. And that's kind of always like, hey, Franny.
Franny.
How's that car doing? But yeah, my dad, like, I feel like people always like turn their heads in public because he's like, hey, Frank. And I'm like, yeah. People
She'll
think
choke you with that gold chain.
people think the mafiosa is like Frank, like a dude, and then they
Yeah.
meet me. And I'm like, yeah, it's Francesca. Go
Oh,
by Frank.
wow. Like you go up to the mob boss's house and you spin around in that like leather chair.
Yeah.
And it's you in your leather trench coat.
Yeah. I was going to wear the leather trench on the pod.
I kind of thought it'd be weird if you're just in a leather trench coat and I'm just sitting in a sweatshirt and jeans on my living room couch. It's like, yeah, this is my CIA agent that comes over sometimes. Like,
My grandmother got me a leather trench coat for Christmas. And the only thing she was worried about, because like I sent her the links that I want, she was just worried it wouldn't keep me warm enough.
oh,
But I was like, no, grandma, this is like just purely aesthetic. But I like haven't really wanted to take it off. I've been wearing it like everywhere. Like we even went shooting over Christmas. It's like our dad always takes us to shoot guns to not sound mobbish. We needed to go shoot. Like I feel like if I'm in a situation I need to use a gun, I should know how to use it safely and well. And I also want to make sure I know how to do the AR and the handgun. So like our dad takes us every year.
yeah, I shot my first AR-15.
How do you like it?
It's fun.
It's really fun, right?
Yeah, because the AR-15, it's like light and like pew 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 pew, but it's like really strong too. So it's like really,
It's wild.
it's crazy. I could see why it would be used in combat.
No, I love it. But I tried to wear my leather trench shooting is the point, and they like wouldn't let me.
Because like lead and stuff like
I
that.
know it's a nice coat. I
But
guess
she
if
just
you can,
wanted to
like-
have her
My-
Matrix Mafia moment.
I know. I'm like, Dad, I'm doing it for the gram, obviously. And he was like, please just leave the leather trench in the car.
You're just sitting there like you didn't bring a phone, you're just in black sunglasses and a leather trench coat, just sitting there like this.
What a vibe. Just shooting the AR in the leather trench, maybe like little Trinity glasses.
Yeah.
You guys all shot it down. No pun intended. Sorry. Oh my God, Nick. Get
I know.
better. He's ill. Everyone's ill right now, though. I think I had it over Christmas. Nick's been like pretty sick.
No, yeah,
for,
I
like,
got
4
sick.
days.
I'm still sound like it a little bit, but I was like sick. I actually was like sneezing and laying in my bed, and I felt like I literally looked like someone that was sick. You know, like I was doing the sick thing, like like tissues by my bed and sneezing and coughing. I'm sick.
I haven't seen you sick in a long
I know.
time.
I don't really get sick.
Mm-hmm.
I tell the devil no.
It's probably because you decided to do dry January.
Oh yes, we're doing dry January.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't drink gin for like 1 week, and then all of a sudden I'm like,
Literally
I'm
sick.
crumbling at the seams. I've always said that gin like keeps me from being sick because it's really antibacterial and antiviral.
I wonder if there's something to that, or
No,
if you're
it
just
is.
finally detoxing for one.
No,
Nick's never done a dry January.
ever in my life. So
Well, I drank from my birthday to January 1st. Honestly, okay. Here's the thing.
what?
Well,
What?
it's like, okay, when you quit drinking, it's like the best you've ever felt. And
I'm not feeling it. Yeah, maybe because I've been sick, but like, I'm like, man, what's this whole like sober thing everyone's talking about?
I know. I wonder if you're going to get any like benefits, like if you're going to feel healthier at all.
I know, because I always feel kind of like I still wake up in the morning at 9 or like 10 p.m. No, like 10 a.m. because
We got to start waking up.
I just
early.
don't like do the mornings, you know, and I don't do the mornings well, and that's not because I'm hungover.
Yeah. No, Nick like doesn't get hangovers, which
Yeah.
is weird, but our dad's the same way. And everybody like keeps telling Nick like, "Oh, just wait till you get older." And my dad's like, "Yeah, they've always said that to me." And my
yeah,
dad's had like maybe 1 or 2 hangovers in his life.
I know, and so like I'm sitting here sober as a clam. Like, okay, I'm saving money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was just going to say that, like, I feel like when you quit drinking, most people start feeling so good. And I was feeling like great. But then I like had a couple drinks on my birthday and I was like, shit. It is fun. You lose the woohoo. Like 2 drinks in, Nikki Glazer says this because she's sober. And she's like, I'm just never going to be like 2 drinks in at a bar when my friends walk in and be like, woohoo! Like, you just kind of like lose that. And like, that is so fun. But man, it just does not agree with my body. I'm not going to be a full sober Sally for like ever. I don't think, because I don't know. I like don't need to be. Like, I kind of proved to myself, like, not really a problem there. It's just, and the whole reason I quit, I just get anxiety and I get depressed.
You do. Yeah. But even when you were drinking, like for these 2 months, like it wasn't that bad.
No, it wasn't that bad, but I think it like compounds.
Yeah, exactly.
Towards the end of it, I was kind of like, so when I quit drinking, so before I quit drinking, I was just like, I am like really depressed and I have a bunch of anxiety. And then when I quit, it was 7 months and I was like, wow, in 7 months, I haven't called mom and dad crying, like worried about my life. Like not once, not like, what am I doing? Everyone hates me. Did I ruin my life? Like, am I in the right profession? Like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
And at the end of those 2 months, like around like a little bit before New Year's, I like called my parents like crying from anxiety. Like just your brain like lies to you. And I was like, ew, I don't like that feeling.
Totally.
And that's pretty normal. I think as you get older, like a lot of people get anxiety. So I might drink it like vacations or just like fun reasons that make sense, because I do think that like the calories, like
yeah, it's a lot of calories.
Well, that's another thing. I lost all this weight when I quit drinking and I like gained it back in 2 months. And I was like, cute. Don't love that.
I've been out like when I haven't been drinking. And so I was drinking ginger ale.
Where?
Tell
the people.
The first night I went out sober, like literally of my life, I ended up at the strip club.
Of course.
Drinking ginger ale. I haven't been to the strip club since I moved to Colorado. And all of a sudden, like the first night I go out sober, I'm at a fucking strip club. I'm talking to the girls in the VIP section.
Wait, what did that one girl tell you? You had the funniest story.
There was a lot. I don't know. I just like, they were just a lot of characters. All the dancers were like pretty, just kind of charismatic people. But one girl, she had like these really big like stripper heels on. And I said to her, I said, oh, I really like your, and I was about to say stripper heels, but I tripped up on my words because I thought that was like a derogatory term. And she goes, no, you can say it. They're stripper heels. I was like, okay. No, but I was talking to this one girl and she said that, I said that I was gay, and she was like, oh, like, you know, I'm gay. Well, not anymore. And I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, well, so anyway, I was up on top of the pole, and these poles are like really, really long. And she was like, you know, and I was spinning up all the way at the top, and I slipped, and I fell all the way down and hit my face on the stage, and it cracked my skull open, and I started bleeding everywhere. And so I woke up in the hospital, and then all of a sudden, like, I was bisexual, and now I'm like engaged to a man. And I'm just drinking ginger ale, like.
That is quite the story to have in front of a ginger ale.
Right, yeah. In like a smoky VIP cigar lounge to a stripper, like with a stripper. And like, I thought that was like, I feel like there's conversations that you can have with a stripper. Like the first conversation I have, that's what she says to me. That's how she's relating to like my homosexuality. And I'm just like, I was like, so I made the joke to her. I was like, should I try that? Maybe I'll be straight. And
that'd be wild.
She didn't. I know.
Nick, like, I don't even know what I would do if you fell, like you tripped and cracked your head and
If
all of a sudden you liked women. I can't even imagine it. Like, I identify as a girl who has a gay brother. It's part of my personality.
I think I would be in the closet as a, like, I would not tell people. I'd be like,
because you've just owned being gay for so long.
It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine.
Wait, like, yeah, you like secretly date women.
Yeah.
And you had to like come out to mom and dad. Like you fell in love with a woman.
Be like, Dad, you're gonna need a ginger ale for this one. Yeah.
I just can't imagine it.
No, I mean it's just.
Could you imagine? And then I had to have a sister-in-law. I mean, I have a sister-in-law whom I love with my straight brother, but like. You know what I mean?
Oh my God. That's funny.
I wouldn't like it.
I wouldn't like it either. No, we're not. That's not happening.
But that's
Also,
kind
I
of
don't think you can just get like hit in the head with a hammer and be gay. Like that's not, you know. And that's what Christina, the bartender, was saying. She was like, "That's not how like homosexuality works. You know, you don't just. It's not like a traumatic brain injury.
They're gonna start hitting people in the head at those conversion camps.
Yeah.
Spreading misinformation on our podcast.
Well, they do like shock therapy because they like.
I mean, it's got it. Yeah, I don't know.
My mom.
I'm
was
not saying you're not born this way. Just like there is some mechanisms in the brain doing things.
Yeah. I don't know. Our mom was like, she texted me. She was like, how is dry January going? And I was like, I'm at the strip club. What are you doing? And she was like, she thought it was funny.
That's one thing about our family. Our family is like drinkers, though. Like it's weird to be around our family and not drink. So everyone's like, oh, like, why'd you have your first drink? Like, why'd you decide to start drinking again? I'm like, I don't know. I was out with my parents.
Oh my God.
I mean, it was just like, you guys were all having, it's just like what we do for fun.
Yeah.
We're at a nice restaurant. And I was like, you know what? I just want my own glass of wine.
I mean, yeah, I think, but it's also like kind of what people do with their families.
Yeah.
I feel like drinking is a
Fun
very big
families.
fun families. Like, I think I mean, I don't know if this is true. Now that I'm speaking this, I don't know if this is actually real at all. But like, people that are close with their families are generally like drinking families, right?
Well, unless like they have alcoholism problems and it's like bad.
And then it's weird. And that's why they're probably not close to the family because of like alcohol problems.
Would you want to marry into a family though that didn't drink?
I wouldn't.
I
think it's weird.
I know.
I'm sorry. Like, what are we going to do? How am I going to talk to your dad? You know?
Yeah, it's like a bonding thing. Like, oh, like come see the gin I have.
Exactly. I mean,
like I would think it's fine. Like if I just didn't drink in our family, well, just how I didn't want to date someone sober when I was sober. Because I think it's
do we all remember that? It's like I really feel though like I just enjoy drinking. I mean, it's kind of like a good bonding, fun, social thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can do it. Like, I've hung out with people not drinking, and I have a lot of sober friends. And it's
I
really
would
fun.
support anyone's sobriety, of course. But as far as like a whole non-drinking family, it's just
like if they were Baptist or something.
Like when I grew up and like I had friends who said like their parents didn't drink, I was like, what's that like?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like they were not allowed to drink and like they couldn't like tell their parents that they drank.
Yeah. I find that would be like tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I find it crazy Trump's never had a drink.
Yeah.
Isn't that wild?
It kind of makes me not trust him more.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's weird.
But it's because his brother died of alcoholism.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And
I didn't know he had a brother.
It's like a way older brother, I think. And he just always told him, don't pick it up. Like it'll ruin your life. And it sort of like, I guess when you see someone that close to you drink themselves to death.
Yeah.
It like that. I understand when people have like family things or like, I've known people who've never drank because like their dad was like a violent alcoholic. So they're like, yeah, it's just not something I'm ever going to do.
Yeah. Jeffree Star is like that. His parents were like really bad alcoholics. His dad beat him. His mom was a mess. And he just says it's not my jam.
Yeah. I love that. I forgot that he was too.
Mm-hmm. Never done any drugs, which is crazy because he's like the most like, he seems like he's on drugs. You know what I mean? Like you look at him and it's like, but he's just himself, you know?
Well, because like authenticity is a fucking drug.
It is.
Being yourself
so
is
true.
wild.
Yeah. Being yourself, and again with Burning Man, when you truly express how you want to be, it's called being eccentric. I mean, that it truly is. And so you get into like all these like really queer parts of yourself, and I don't mean that in like always a sexual way. Like our good friend Roddy, he's an older gentleman. He did a DMT trip, and he pretty much learned to like never shame any part of his own sexuality. And he's completely straight, but he just loves to cross-dress. And not because he thinks he's pretty. Like, he just likes to have fun and likes to wear a skirt. Mm-hmm. You know, not because he's, like, trying to dress like a woman, just because he wants to wear a skirt and thinks it's, like, Roddy in a skirt, you know?
Yeah.
And, like, that's trippy and sounds weird, but it really comes from, like, an honest place of self-expression.
Do you know, okay, so you know how they can measure the vibrations that come off your body, like that you emit?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what the strongest one? So like because they can literally measure it from sadness, shame, anything. What do you think the strongest vibration from a human?
Like biggest, fastest, like most.
Like the strongest like energy and vibration they can measure.
Joy.
No.
Uh-uh.
And people think like joy, love, it's authenticity. It literally radiates.
Is that a feeling?
I kind of thought that too, but it was just like when you are talking about something and you fully believe it and you're like standing in your authenticity, it like
What lights
Google
up your
it.
soul?
Yeah, but just
Yeah.
when you say things and you believe it and you're just like in your full truth, that like other humans are so attracted to that, and it is a very like distinct energy.
I kind of see that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. That's why I kind of have a thing for nerds. Because like, some like nerds just like really nerd out on shit, and you can tell like that's like a really strange thing to be super into. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
They're
just committing to their thing.
Yeah, and I'm like, God, that's so weird to say out loud that you're really into that, but I'm kind of like, that's kind of hot.
Speaking of, we spent most of our Christmas at like a dive bar.
Oh.
Just like we didn't like really go out with any friends, but there's this really like smoky dive bar down the street from our house.
I love a Smokey Dive Bar. If you want to know what I want to do, it's go to the Smokey Dive Bar.
It's above this Italian restaurant called Balducci's. It's called the Brew House in St. Louis. And this dude just came up to Nick at like, we're all sitting, we're in a group of like 7 people like chatting. And he comes up and he's just like, hey man, totally straight, wasn't hitting on you. Came over from his whole group, puts his arm around him and is like, I just want to say, also not wasted. He was like, you just like have great energy, man.
Yeah.
And you were like, thanks. But that's like,
it kind of caught me off guard.
Something that these things happen to you all the time, though.
It really does happen to me all the time. And I don't know what that is. I'm thankful for it. I'm not weirded out. I just am kind of curious like what that is.
Maybe you're really authentic. I mean, I guess you are.
I think I am.
Yeah, I was just kind of thinking about it. I was like, you're kind of like you.
And
You've been you since you were like little.
I've never really like struggled with that. And I think people really like sense that. But at the same time, like what was he sensing when I was wearing normal clothes and I was literally just like smoking a cigarette at a bar,
Yeah.
It's not like I was like giving a show or being loud. It was just like, I don't know.
Or it's that all the straight men want to hit on you.
Yeah. I mean, yep.
Also, speaking of men, someone asked on our TikTok or Instagram, I forget, they were like, are you two like attracted to like the same type of man? They were like, or do you guys like fight over men and stuff? And I thought that was so interesting because like we're really lucky in the sense that we have the opposite taste in men.
Yeah.
And so we've never had issues with that. Anyone Nick thinks is hot, I'm like, oh.
You like don't find hot, which I'm like, what the fuck is that?
All.
And it's crazy. It's like, we share a few, but they're mostly like celebrities.
Who?
Henry Cavill.
Yeah, but
like
he's not that hairy.
He is incredibly hairy.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he
Girl,
was like.
I have.
I'm thinking of my boyfriend. I dated a guy who looked like him, and he looked like Superman. And but
he shaves in the Superman movies, but that boy is hairy.
Oh, okay.
Very hairy.
Oh, because of The Witcher.
Yeah.
That's right. But I like tall, blonde, and like hairless.
Weird.
Yeah, like think Scandinavian. Thinks Alexander Skarsgård.
Okay, Alexander Skarsgård is hot. Yeah.
And like absurdly tall. Mm-hmm. That's like my thing. Like I literally want to climb you like a tree because I'm tall.
Yeah, height is. Yeah.
Well, for you don't even mind if they're shorter or taller.
Yeah.
But he likes like bears.
I mean, I just like hairy dudes. Like I don't necessarily. I like bears, but it's not like that's not like my thing,
Okay. But if they're hairless, you can't.
If they don't have a beard, I will not be attracted to you. I mean, we can make it work, but
have I ever dated someone with a beard?
No, not really. No.
That's so wild.
Actually, our friend Ash, her and I have the same type of man. Okay, or same type of men. We like the same type of men, and so it'll be funny. Like we'll be out, and like I'll be going to the bathroom or something, and I'll see like someone walk in. I'll be like, "Oh, that guy's so hot." And then I'll be like, Ash. And she'll be like, oh, I saw him.
Yeah, you two could fight. I could see you guys fighting over someone.
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny. But could you imagine if you had like a sister and you had the same taste of men?
Yeah. Like you're out with your sister and it's like, who calls him?
Yeah.
No.
That would be weird.
I don't think I can handle having a sister.
I don't think you could either, too.
You're the closest.
That would be crazy.
No.
That would be crazy.
I don't... I can't even, like, imagine if we'd be, like, really close.
Mm-hmm.
Or, like, we'd either be, like, best friends.
Yeah.
I don't know. It'd probably be something like Mom and I. Mom and I are best friends, but we're so similar we fight.
And you're not fighting over men.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so this isn't our theory. I've definitely seen it other places, but like we have talked about this. Just men who are like womanizers being secretly gay.
Yeah.
And like, okay, think of like
Yeah.
one of like
I see
my
this.
exes.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think he's gay, but when there's men who like compulsively cheat and compulsively lie, like even someone like Tristan Thompson and like Khloe Kardashian, and they're always just out with some other girl and they just like cannot be faithful and always need the attention of like, let's say like this super hot woman or like whatever. It's like, I think somewhere they're like gay. Like, you know, one of the speculations is like John Mayer, and he is like a notorious womanizer. And it's like, maybe he can't like find a girl he likes and stick with her because like she doesn't have a dick.
I think there's a lot of validity to that because you're almost like searching in all the wrong places.
Yeah.
So you keep, you know?
Yeah, like there's always something better, but you're never going to find better
because you're searching in the wrong place. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you want something else, really, you know? And I see that. And I know like a lot of guys, like gay or bisexual guys that, you know, like they are just kind of sex demons. No, not really. But like, no, I'm not saying that bisexual guys are like that, but I'm just saying like, I know bisexual guys that are sort of like their thirst can't be quenched, you know? And it's like, I know that the girls that they're hooking up with are really like, don't know that they're hooking up with guys.
But then there's some people that I don't think it like applies to, but like think of like
what?
my most recent kind of like ex who is just always lying to girls and always trying to fuck anything that moves.
Yeah.
But is that more of like like the narcissism inside of him just like trying to fill a hole
I don't know what it is.
that he can't fill?
I think it just makes them feel cool, you know? And I think that's what a lot of guys do is like they feel the need to like get this external validation as well as like pleasuring themselves. So it's kind of like, oh, look at me. My life's in shambles, but at least I get girls. Like that's one thing I got going for me, you know?
Yeah.
Where it's kind of like, it's just kind of douchey. Like, oh, you're banging chicks. And like also like all gay men know that like having sex with a lot of people doesn't make you cool. You know, it's just like if you want to do that, sure, but like
Is that in gay culture? As far as like, oh, I got all these dudes last week?
No.
Oh, weird.
No one cares.
Yeah.
If anything, it's like, have you been sleeping with a lot of guys again?
Mm-hmm.
Are you hitting that grinder really hard? Are you constantly, man, are you being safe? You know?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
What a difference in culture.
I know. And then guys are like, I just don't really.
The whole like locker room talk.
Yeah. I don't really participate.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sitting there like, what is it? John Tucker Must Die when she like spies on him in the locker room.
Yeah.
And, yeah. That's so good.
But I also wonder, like, I think some guys really don't mean a lot of the things they're saying. And it's so weird to me how cool it is to like put down women. I just recently, two of the guys that I just like cut off for good. It's 2024. We're not doing toxic men in our lives.
Yeah.
But the two guys I used to like hang out with are best friends. One of them called me like over Christmas just to tell me that the other one was like talking poorly about me. And I'm like, first of all,
sick.
Why do you need to tell me this? Like, I don't need to know. Like, are you just trying to hurt my feelings? Because they also both like vie for my attention. So they want me to hate the other one. So like, but then they both talk shit on me to each other and then tattletale on the other one.
That's what we call toxic.
It's so toxic. And I was just like, so I got pissed off at the one that called me and I was like, don't call me with this stuff. I don't want to hear that he like talked bad about me. But then of course I go to the other one and I was like, why the fuck would you say that? He was like, oh, it was just like locker room talk. I'm just like hanging out with the bros. I have it in text. I have it in text.
It's just locker room talk?
Yeah, he goes, it's just like me I wish I had my phone. It's recording right now. But it was like, oh, Francesco, like, you know, it's just the guys. Actually, word for word. No. Yes. I have it in full text form. And he was like,
it
Francesca.
is not 2004.
No, I know. And he was like, no, like I was just with the dudes, typical locker room talk. This is nothing new. And he followed it up with, I didn't mean it. Francesca, I love you. Like you and I are so close. You know that I don't mean those things. I'm just like with the boys.
Francesca, Francesca.
No,
I need to put you in timeout. Like,
no, I literally just responded. This was, I think, right, like before New Year's or like New Year's Day was like the last time I responded. I go, honestly, if it makes you cool around your friends to talk shit on me and you quote unquote don't even mean it. I was like, they've only kind of been in my life under the pretense of like we're friends, which is even worse. Somehow, like
literally.
honestly, if you were a girl I was just a girl you were hooking up with, whatever. But we're supposed to all be like such good friends, and you love me so much, and blah blah blah. And I was like, I don't talk about my friends like this. And if it makes you cool in front of these men to say those things, then like I don't have any place for any of you in my life. And I was like, but I think I was a little drunk. I was like, I just don't have any place for this type of relationship, friends, not friends, talking shit, anything in my future. I was like, but I don't want to have any negativity. So I would like wish you all the best. Good luck with everything. And then I blocked on everything.
Well,
because I didn't want the whole like, I hate you. And I was like, it's whatever. Like, thanks for your apology. I didn't even say thanks. I was like, it's whatever, but I can't do this. And then the other one calling just to tell me it was like, why out of nowhere on a random day do you just want to call me to tell me that while you guys were all talking, all this horrible shit was said about me? I was like, just ruined my day. Thank you. Like,
I literally have said it to you 75 million times, but like those two guys are just such a waste of your time, energy, and whatever. But
I think something's like actually clicked in my brain.
I don't like sit there and like, listen, I'm a shit talker, everyone. Like, let it be known, you know?
Yeah.
I am not someone to sit here and be like, I don't talk bad about people. Like, no, I do. But
I don't get my kicks from just talking,
not about
putting
my
someone
friends,
down.
especially like people that like it would like hurt them. You
Yeah.
know? Like if I don't like someone, I'm not going to be their friend.
That's kind of where I'm at. I've talked shit on people who I don't like the way they act. I don't like what they do. And like, I've talked shit on them. Not that like I get my kicks from like putting other people down to make myself feel better, but it's like, you know, everybody's talked some shit. But like people that are my friends, if someone has behavior that like, let's say like a girlfriend that I really don't like, that I really don't approve of, and every time they talk to me, they just talk shit on other people, and like their energy makes me feel bad. If I'm gonna go to my other friend and be like, I hate her energy, I'm just gonna like distance myself from that person.
Yeah.
Because it's not enjoyable for anyone else in my life to hear me talk about them. And if I don't approve of them, like I think you are the sum of the people that you're friends with.
Totally.
And like around. So like I just won't be friends with them anymore. But yeah, to like sit there and be telling me how good of friends they are with me because then he started telling me all the stuff the other one that called me originally says about me. And I was like, I don't need to know. I was like, you guys aren't my friends.
No, exactly. They're
Like-
bad people and they're lame. Locker room talk.
Verbatim.
Oh my God. That's what the name of this episode is called.
They're in their
Locker
30s.
room talk. I know. I'm like, bro, you put the jersey away a long time ago. Actually, you didn't even play sports in college. Like I find like college sports, I get it if you play, like that will always be a part of you. We don't have to relive it though, but like if you didn't even play it, like you're not in the locker room.
No.
So what? Because locker room talk. Jesus, that's bad.
Yeah, I hadn't even told you that yet.
A group of bros is just called a locker room? Is that what that is? A sweaty locker room.
Am I catching your COVID?
Hopefully.
A group of bros is just called a locker room, like an owl is a parliament.
Yeah.
A group of pros is a murder. Group of bros is a locker room.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's terrible, but it just like didn't make me feel good. And I was like, like you've told me this a million times, and I've always known this, but it always ends in me feeling bad. So it's like there's no more silly little games of we're all gonna be friends forever, and like
no,
I just don't need people like that.
We're stealing his TV.
Huh? No.
Lock the doors. Lower the blinds. It's my TV now.
Don't come and take it. Cut that out.
No. Sorry, I feel like this whole podcast I'm like sniffling and pulling my hair back, and I feel like I look like a mess, but
you really don't. Honestly, that All Saints sweatshirt, did Grandma get you that too?
Yeah.
It's so good.
Actually, my grandma gave me a lot of really nice gifts.
I don't know. I think you made out the best out of all the grandkids this Christmas.
No, I think I got I did better this Christmas from my grandma than I have like the past 3 Christmases combined. I don't know what it was. And then
No, you're
and
like
then my
becoming like the golden child.
I maybe it's because I paid my car off. No, but so I like and then my grandpa was like, "Hey, like I know some people did better than others," saying almost as if like you and Max, you guys got more gifts.
He got extra money in his, because we get like gifts and then like a card full of like money and gift cards, and he got extra money in his card because they thought he didn't get as many presents as us.
I think they like
I think
forgot.
they mixed it up.
No, but it was weird though because like my stocking above the fireplace just had hand lotion in it. It wasn't wrapped. It wasn't like, that's where you get like cards and the cute little knickknacks in our family, and like I guess most people do that, but like just a little assortment of things, you know.
No, I know.
No,
Nick
mine.
looked at me.
It was just hand lotion.
I think our grandparents have been dealing with some health issues.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
so
yeah. That's why I'm like,
they just like, I think like Nick's stocking like got forgotten, no big deal. But it was funny because like Nick, like we all like dig in and there's like a bunch of stuff in the stockings, and like Nick's just had a hand lotion.
no, it was so funny to me, and that's why I'm like, I do think that like, you know, my grandparents have always been so great with like Christmas gifts and stuff.
They're
like
really
that.
generous,
They're
yeah.
so amazing, and they've always made Christmas feel amazing. So like if this year I didn't get anything, like I'd be completely okay with that. Like
Yeah.
I get it. So, but I just think it's funny that like I think there was like a bit of like a disconnect happening because
Yeah.
I did get actually really nice gifts for Christmas, but then because the stocking only had like hand lotion in it,
They're like, give him another $100 in the car.
I know.
Like we don't know what to put in his stocking.
I know. I was like, I don't know, but it was just like the weirdest, funniest. It almost seemed like a joke. I don't.
And like just coal.
Yeah.
But it's just Kiehl's.
Yeah. Yeah. Literally Kiehl's hand salve, and I'm like, I don't even use hand lotion, but
You know, we always get different kinds of hand lotion for Christmas, and
Yeah.
I think like our family must use a lot of lotion.
I don't.
I don't use hand lotion.
I don't-
I lotion my body when I I'm big on lotion, face lotion,
Yeah.
body lotion, but like I'm not lotioning my hands all day.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I hate the feeling of like oil.
Well, it's just like I can't like do things like, oh, my
No, yeah.
phone's gonna be covered in
Oh
lotion.
my god, that would piss me off. If I got lotion on my screen, oh no, that is upsetting. But yeah,
Is it like one of those icks? Like it's icking you out?
yeah,
like,
yeah. I just don't like it. I just don't like
like
it.
nails on a chalkboard.
That
Like,
doesn't even bother me that much.
oh, I can't even think
But-
about it.
Yeah, I really don't like oil.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much. I'm so happy to be back and update you. Like, I feel like so many other things happen, but it's just like we got to keep getting on it every week.
I know.
Of course, we have some super cool guests that we need to have on, some things in the works. But we're going to be launching our Patreon. And I think by next week. So just a teeny little bit for you guys to support us so we can keep doing this and not lose our apartment.
We're doing it full time. We quit all of our other jobs too, which
Is terrifying.
I don't know if it's good or bad yet. Like we're gonna still, of course, like have a couple events and stuff that will work and stuff, but really it's just us. So we're teasing the Patreon. If you'd be into that.
Yeah, we got some really cool messages. I think the biggest message we get is people that listen to us and kind of feel like they're another sibling. They feel in the fam like another Piazza sib, and that's just kind of what we want.
Totally.
Hanging out, telling you guys about our lives, entertaining. Hopefully, you guys find us entertaining.
Hey.
Well, we love you so much, fam, and we'll see you next week.
Next week.
Cheers.
Bye.